Okay, you may not need these as review, but it just kind of depends on you and your personal self-reflection. This one is over multiplication and division. So I'm going to look at this Are You Ready page, and I'm going to just consider the ones that are multiplication and division, which is number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. All right, so let's make it a little bigger so that I can see. All right, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's 3 and 4. So number 3 is 5x. 5 times x equals 80. So in order to do those problems, I know that I just need to divide both sides by 5. So if I divide this side by 5, I divide this side by 5. My answer will be x equals 80 divided by 5, which is 16. So I can do those problems. Of course, it won't let me draw. Let's do one with a division problem over here just to make sure that we're remembering. If you don't need this part, scroll until we get to the next section. But this one is a division problem. So instead of dividing, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to multiply by 4 and multiply by 4. And that cancels the two 4s. You're left with x equals negative 4 times 7 is 28. And the last step is to think, is it positive or negative? In this case, it's negative. That is important because that will be coming. We are expecting you to have that knowledge coming into these programs or into these types of skills. All right, so we're going to move on and go to where the notes begin. Well, that's really big, so I might need to zoom out just a little. So we're doing solving inequalities using multiplication and division. And it runs exactly the same way that we just did it, with one exception. Okay, and that one exception is kind of an important situation, but it's just flipping. So when you multiply or divide each side of an inequality by the same positive number. Okay, so like to clear this, they multiplied both sides by 2. I don't know why it's not like multiplied both sides by 2. See how they did it to clear it? That works the same. Notice that the inequality keeps going the same way. So when you multiply or divide each side of the inequality by the same positive number, so as long as the numbers are positive when you're multiplying and dividing to move from one side to the other, you're using those inverse properties. Everything's the same way, just straightforward. The problem is when you are multiplying to move things around and it's got a negative number, then it flips the sign. So those negative numbers are always going to be a little tricky or a little challenging, not necessarily tricky, but it's something that when you see a negative number, it's going to revolve more thinking than you normally do when you add and subtract. So for example, I immediately see that this one has a negative 5 right there. So that means I'm going to have to think, be aware, something's different, okay? So I know that normally when I have a 5 connected to my variable, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5. Check, that's what you do. And I divided this side by negative 5. Check, that's what you do. And then you get z and 11, just like you're supposed to. But notice what happened to our inequalities. Do you see this last one? It changes. So it went, well, actually it changed right here. When you divided it by that side, it flipped it. So, and they're using the word reverse. Reverse is the same way. Instead of being this way, it's that way. It's a reverse. So it kind of goes with inverse, but it only happens with negative numbers. So let's do a couple of practice problems, and then I'll get you started on your independent work practice problems. So first, let's do these practice ones down here. Where's my writing tool? There it is. So this one is negative 1 8/10 is less than 3w. So I'm going to do what I normally do, and I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Okay? Now, Is that a negative number? Nope. See, this side I'm not dividing by -3. So I'm good to go. My inequality stays that way. My W is right there. 1.8 divided by 3, I'm seeing 18. So I'm putting 0.6. So you're going to type 0.6. This one, however, I'm going to have to divide by a -8. Divide by a -8. So since I'm dividing by that -8, my sign, my inequality flips. So I'm left on this side with T, terrible T, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So this side is left as 4/8, or you will type T is 1/2. All right, so I am going to take a minute and type these answers. If I can remember them, 0.6. Yep, maybe I'll write them down real fast. 0.6 is less than W, and T is less than or equal to 4/8, 1/2. So that you guys know what's expected, and then we will do the last problem. But when I go to look at these, I'm looking for correct answers. So you're going to type -0.06 is less than W. And this one is going to be T, and you have to insert your special character. Insert, move my face, insert special character, and in this case it's less than, so I'm going to type in less, and this first one that comes up is less than, so I click it once, and close is less than, see it went there, and -8 divided by 4 is 1/2. So there's the answer to that one. Let's go to this last problem, and I'm just going to go ahead and type it out since it's there. See how this is, that means division. So I'm going to both sides, let me center, both sides of the equation, I'm going to multiply by -3. Now, since I'm multiplying it by a negative number, what does that mean? That means that I have to switch that sign. I have to reverse that sign. So I get 4/3 because they're negative, so 4 divided by 3. And that sign, this sign right here, is going to be flipped. So instead of a less than, when I go insert special characters, I'm going to type in greater than because it's flipped. Yep, it went in. See how they flipped? They changed which direction. As some kids would say, the mouth is open. And then I put my R. All right, this last one is to pass the test, you need at least 39 points. So at least is one of my clue words. At least. So I need at least 39 points. That means I want 39 or more. Each question is worth 3 points. Write and solve an inequality that represents the number of questions you need to answer correctly to pass the test. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to solve what I need to get 39 points. And to do that, let's see here. Where's my pen? I'm going to say 3 points each. I need 39. So it's 39 divided by 3 equals 13. So I want more than 13. I know that much. Okay. But how did I get that? 39 divided by 3. So that means I multiply the number I got right, which is this 13. So you'll type 3 times the number of questions you got right needs to be more than or equal to 39. So how do we type that? Let me go back over to my button. So 3n needs to be insert, special characters, more than. Maybe more than will work. Nope, needs to be greater than. I was hoping. It's greater, it's more to type. Greater than. And greater than 39. Now we could solve this. You'd probably be expected to. You're going to divide both sides by 3, which I might run out of room here. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. My answer will be n going to copy and paste here. So highlight, Control C, 13. So you know how to do this. You just have to remember, if you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number, flip, reverse, flip, reverse. And that's all there is to it.